Hi, everybody, and welcome to this week's show here on WJR. This is Open Mic, program where we hear from the next generation of sportscasters who one day will be working in the world of sports. I'm your host, Johnny Kane, and a really solid show laid out for you today. It's the All-Star break in Major League Baseball. Tigers gearing up for the unofficial second half of the season, which gets underway on Friday in Arlington against the Rangers. That's a series you can catch on FanDuel Sports Network. And somebody who's become a very good friend, really a terrific human being in every sense of the word. He'll be coming up a little bit later on the show. You know him as Todd Jones, all-time saves leader in Tigers franchise history, and now a successful television personality doing Tigers pre- and post-game coverage as an analyst. So he's somebody I work with on a regular basis, but he'll be reflecting on his playing career, advice for athletes who are trying to get to the next level, and how he made the transition from former player into broadcasting. We'll also hear commentary of the 5 most unique, most random, most must-try food items you can find at a ballpark near you. That's coming up a little bit later in the show. We're also going to hear from a two-sport star from one of our area high schools who's going on to play for the Black Knights at Army. It's a very cool story, and that's where we're going to begin tonight's show here on Open Mic. Let's welcome in Brendan Mato from Detroit Catholic Central High School. Brendan, always good to see you, brother. How are you?
I'm good, Johnny. How you doing?
I'm good, man. I really like this interview you did with Jaden Pydyn, two sports star at Detroit CC. What's he like? I mean, you obviously have a relationship with him. What's he like as a student athlete?
I mean, Jaden's an awesome guy. I we really didn't become, I guess, friends until late junior year, early senior year. I started, announcing the football games. We kind of got close, but I mean, he's just a normal kid, realistically. I remember one night we were at one of our buddies' house and we were playing poker. He still tells the story. I slow rolled him with quad sevens and he was pissed. He was pissed. But no, anyway. Um yeah, he's really an awesome kid. He's super smart actually. He had like a crazy high GPA. He's two-sport athlete. He's just overall um he's a really awesome dude to talk to. So, yeah, this interview was fun.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's always cool, when your friends are able to go on and do things or at the beginning stages of going on to do something special potentially at the next level, whether it's career wise or in athletics. I know you guys have a great program, great athletic programs at Detroit Catholic Central, and so to stand out really in two sports and to receive scholarship opportunities not just in baseball but also in football, and then to be going to United States Military Academy at West Point. I mean, that to me, that's a special type human, and obviously speaks to the caliber of person that he is, I think.
Yeah, for sure. And really he's a hometown kid. He loves his country. He loves his family. I know he mentions in the interview he's had some family that served, and that was kind of a big thing that led him to choosing and accepting that offer to West Point, besides the two sport draw to it. But yeah, I mean, it's it's good to see. I think it's an awesome story the way that, he's just one of our buddies that's
Yeah.
doing something so cool as playing two sports at West Point. So,
Yeah, I think it's great, and I think I've had obviously family members who have served as well, and my brother served in the Army. Was not a two sport athlete, but for those that may not know, West Point's in Orange County, New York. It's about an hour north of the city, and Jaden Pydyn, an offer to play both baseball and football. One of the things you'll be hearing in the interview is about becoming a leader in the world, in this country, and then serving in the military after his playing career. So, and another thing that I thought was very interesting is about how it's tough for a lot of us to manage, I think, the day to day in life. We all have responsibilities of what to do, but when he talks about, staying busy in athletics also helps with his studies, rather than detracts from it. So, not just an athlete, but really into the books as well. So, all good things. And the Black Knights, they compete in 25 different sports at the Division I level in men and women's athletics. And they got a good one in Jaden Pydyn from Detroit Catholic Central High School. Here's Brendan Mato with Jaden Pydyn.
All right, welcome back. My name is Brendan Mato. Honored to have a 2025 graduate of Detroit Catholic Central, two-sport standout, and future West Point cadet Jaden Pydyn. You and I both know Detroit Catholic Central, right? It's known for its powerhouse athletics, especially the historically strong football team. So what was it like kind of being part of such a competitive program?
Being part of a program like ours at CC, it's something special and something that not a lot of people get to go through. Um, Things a lot of people, I guess, don't really think about. One thing about our football team, especially last year, is all of the hard work that comes in. Got knocked out early my junior year. Starting in November, our whole team was together, lifting weights together, team bonding together, just things like that over the summer. It really made a difference in how our senior season led.
So football and baseball, you've been a standout in both, like I mentioned. Um, Especially, and again, at CC, two very competitive programs, always a competitive program. How do you balance two demanding sports while maintaining, strong academics? You had pretty high GPA in high school.
So, sort of for me, being busy kind of just it helps me with my academics because I know I need to get it done. I know I want to go to bed early during football, especially. Like it kind of just forces me to put the work in early in the day, study hard. It also helps that they're two different seasons, obviously. So football in the fall, baseball in the spring, summer.
So next chapter for you is the United States Military Academy at West Point. That's another huge commitment, athletically, academically, and the fact that you're going into the U.S. Army afterwards. So what led to your decision? Why did you choose West Point?
So middle of my junior year, recruiting it was honestly kind of slow, and I mean I was talking to Dartmouth, Cornell, and Grand Valley, but nothing was leading there. And then Army came into school. They offered me. I didn't know much about it. Uh, right when I told my mom I got offered, she asked if I committed on spot. I was like, "Mom, I don't know anything about it." And we did our research, and it turns out I love everything they stand for, and I think that's an amazing path that I should follow.
So you mentioned a little bit about your recruitment. Obviously, you wanted to continue both football and baseball. Was that difficult for I assume that's difficult for college coaches to, I guess, account for and give to you, right? So was West Point like the only place that would, or were there other schools that would have given you that opportunity?
I'm sure there's probably some other schools that would. Army, they offered me football in February, and they didn't offer me baseball until middle of April because baseball coach said especially that he had to get approved from the football head coach to make sure that he was allowed to offer me. See, so I'm happy it turned out the way it did. I love both sports, and I look forward to competing.
Awesome. So from this past season, obviously you had a great run in football, semifinals. Um, do you have a favorite memory from this season? Maybe even from baseball season this year? I know it wasn't exactly the way you guys planned it, but do you have a favorite memory from either of those?
By far, best memory of my whole CC career was that Belleville football game. 10, 12,000
Yeah,
people in the stands. My favorite play was the first touchdown of the game. I had about a 50, 60-yard run, and just hearing that crowd pop as I was running, it was a super special moment.
yeah, that game was awesome. I had the opportunity to broadcast that game. That was
Yeah,
some of the most
I
fun.
watched it last week again.
Did you really?
I did.
That's great. Yeah, I love that game. Was amazing. So back to West Point. You talked a lot about sort of what it stands for, and that being one of the main selling points for you. One of the biggest categories there is leadership. So how do you see yourself growing as a leader in the years ahead, and sort of how has sports developed this leadership role inside of you?
So honestly, coming into CC, I wasn't like the biggest leader or anything, and CC really taught me how to lead, especially being a captain. And Coach DeSante was a huge mentor towards my leadership. He met with our captains once a week, all throughout the summer, all throughout the season, just talking about what we need to do, how we need to do it, things like that. And West Point is just the most extreme example of that. Leadership is everything there. So coming into West Point, coming out of West Point, you need to be a leader in the world, in this country, especially serving for 5 years after. And it's going to be an exciting journey ahead.
Well, that's awesome. Jaden, we've known each other for about a year and a half now. We're super excited for you. Can't wait to see what you do at West Point. That's an amazing accomplishment to play both sports. One more thing to wrap this up. I've been asking a few people because I'm just so excited. College football is less than 100 days away at this point. Do you have an early Heisman favorite, early national championship contender? Who do you see going far?
I see the Army Black Knights going all the way.
Yes, he does. That's perfect. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, Jaden Pydyn, two-sport athlete from Detroit Catholic Central, football and baseball. Catch him next year at Army.
How cool is that, to be gifted to play two collegiate sports in college at Army, no less. A young man from Detroit whose journey we'll all be following. A very grounded individual, and we wish him a very grounded individual. We wish him continued success and hope to catch up with him a little bit farther down the line once he gets a little bit further along in what he's out to accomplish at West Point. Black Knights compete in the Patriot League in baseball and in the American Athletic Conference in football. So very good stuff from Brendan Mato and Jaden Pydyn. Coming up on the show, we're going to be hearing from a friend of mine, a colleague of mine, and who is one of the best pitchers in the history of the Detroit Tigers. That's Todd Jones. That's coming up next here on Open Mic.